It's What's the Tea with Nikkolayla here again with you, and this is the face-to-face segment. And I'm so happy to see all of your faces, even though I can't see anybody. But I'm seeing you in my vision. Yes, I'm totally seeing you in my vision, so I'm happy to see you. Anyway, today is a wonderful day. Today, communication. That is going to be the etymology word of today, communication. And I'm going to read it from the etymology dictionary. And of course, I'll put the link of where I think I've put it in another video, but I'm going to put another one. I'll put it up again for the etymology dictionary because, and I didn't explain it in the last video that I did. But etymology is actually the origin of the word. That's what etymology means, is that it is the original origin of the word. So if you want to find out what a particular word that you're looking for and what the true meaning is, because just because you have taken a particular dictionary and said, it means this, the first, as far as what I've learned, is the first definition, that portion of the meaning, that's its truest origin, and that's the truest meaning. So the last video I did, I talked about nice. Yeah, listen to that one because so many people are always saying that word, and it's like, do you know what you're saying? Yeah, okay. Anyway, moving on. So I've got a few things. Okay, so it's kind of like this kind of edges into my own personal experience because I'm dealing with people who are not communicating. And it's so interesting because on one hand, you could sit up there and say, it's like, okay, am I missing something here? No, I'm not missing something here. What I've learned, because actually, as a child, I actually was like communicating, expressing myself, just like some children do. They have the ability to just talk, and as a child, I talk so much that I had to be, pushed back in school because I talked so much, but I was an early expression in my classroom. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so here I am and I'm talking. So, but there was a stage in my life also where I wasn't capable of communicating very well because my throat chakra was closed up, and I talked about that as well. Well, I'm actually interacting with people who have the inability to communicate well. That's what I'm learning, whether it's by text or by, like, I mean, as far as I know, I'm communicating that it's not being done well because communicating, let's look up the word. I'm going to share with you what the word actually says. Early communication, noun. Early 15th century, act of communicating, act of imparting, discussing, debating, conferring, from Old French communication, and directly from Latin communication, a making common, imparting, communicating, a figure of speech, of action, from past participle, stem, communicare, to share, divide out, communicate, impart, inform, join, unite, participate, literally, to make common. So that is the particular definition for communicate. And there's so many portions of that sharing. So let's just use that word. When someone is able and capable of communicating with you, that means they're sharing, right? That's what I'm used to. I have people in my life that have the ability to communicate and share. They don't just stop talking to you just because. Now, here's the thing. This is what I've noticed for my own self. If I need to process through something, so I'll give you an example. So say, for instance, one of my family members or somebody asked me a particular question. I might not respond to them immediately. And the main reason is because I'm processing through whatever that question is. And every question that they ask, I don't have to process through. It depends on what they're asking. But if there's something that I need to process through, I actually will take necessary steps and process through what they're asking me so I can give them the best answer from within me. And you know what's so interesting? I think to myself, it's like I remember, okay, my dad is transitioned and he's so adorable. When I would ask him a question, it was like you could hear the clock ticking, you could hear a cricket click, click, clicking, because there would be no comment. He wouldn't say anything because it was a question that he was processing. So he would never answer it quickly. And I thought that was very interesting about my dad. I thought that was a very, as much as I'm like, like, okay, let's get it done. Quick, 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 come on, come on, oh, come on, let's get it. I have those moments. But some people have the ability to just be like a turtle when it comes to answering. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, are you going to actually answer the person? See, that's the thing. And so, me personally, I do get back to you. I don't just poo poo shoo shoo you off. I say something. I might not, it's possible that I could say, you know what, I'm not capable of answering that question right now. And I haven't done that yet, but I do take the time to process through what that particular question or response is. And I'm not immediate with it depending on what the question is. Well, I am interacting with people who don't respond at all. And I've never, ever, I just think to myself, okay, maybe I was like that in the past. It's possible because there was a time that my throat chakra was completely closed. Well, it wasn't completely closed, but it's like, okay, so I'm going to share something else with you. Like your throat chakra is it's just like if you find out that you are, I found an article, and I'll put it on the links as well, chakras.info. If you feel like you're choked up, that means that your throat chakra very well could be a little bit closed. I don't want to use the phrase blocks because people are saying you're blocked. You're not blocked. It's just that it's something that needs to be opened up some more. You're just not blocked. I think we've been overusing, but that's just um, my thought process, is that we've been using the word blocked. It's like it's not blocked. That means that you have a wall. You don't have a wall. It's just that it needs to be opened up. You're able to communicate about something, so it can't possibly be blocked. If you're working, you work with people, or you have to communicate about work or something, it might be certain situations where you feel like you're choked up, like somebody asks you a personal emotional question and you've got some feelings and emotions locked up in there and you can't communicate that well. You're not blocked. It's just that it's difficult for you to process through that and communicate. So you needed a little help. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I had that same issue too. And there's so many other people, I'm sure, that are living on this planet that have the same issue. So anyway, I'm going to read a little bit about what she says about, and it says getting to know the throat chakra. Okay, so the throat chakra, also known as the Vishuddha chakra. So the throat chakra is here. It is the fifth chakra on the scheme of your whole body. And so you have, I'm not going to go through all of them because I've touched on them before, but right now we're just dealing with the throat chakra. And the throat chakra, if that is particularly blocked, not blocked, I'm sorry. If that's particularly, not feeling right, or you feel choked up, or when something, you can tell when you feel like there's an uncomfortable, or you can't respond, or it's like, or you've had issues with your throat, you have thyroid issues. So I'm going to read a little bit of what it says here. The throat chakra, also known as the Vishuddha chakra, is the fifth chakra of the human body, located at the base of the throat. This energy center, because it is energy, each part of your body, you have a chakra and it has an energy center. This energy center is associated with communication, creativity, and self-expression. So if you have a problem expressing yourself, then that means your throat chakra could possibly be having some issues. You could be having some issues there. Or if you have thyroid issues, that means your throat chakra, you have some issues there that you need to clear and that maybe you need some help with. If you can't get it done on your own, you might need some healing help to get through that process so you can start singing your song. Anyway, according to some spiritual and religious traditions, the throat chakra is considered the seat or home of human emotion. Think about it. When we are emotionally upset, we often say we're choked up, unable to speak clearly, which makes sense if the throat is emotional, if the throat is the emotional hub. Known as Vishuddha in Hindu tradition, the throat chakra controls the thyroid gland and endocrine system. That means it is responsible for the regulation and flow of hormones and the function of all matters of the throat and head, including trachea, mouth, esophagus, teeth, nose, ears, carotid arteries. That's a lot. That means that's everything right in here. All of that. All of that is, there's something that's going on. So, um, let's see. Now they use, okay, it says when the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra, is so-called blocked, there are several signs, both physical and non-physical, that can emerge. Physically speaking, an unbalanced fifth chakra, which is your throat chakra, can cause you to experience consistent fatigue, headaches, and speech impairment. Interesting. In some cases, now this is their own expression. If you find other information that is beautiful and great, we're all expanding and there's more, than what is somebody else's written. But I'm utilizing this as a foundational ground. It is not uncommon for even more serious physical effects to include tinnitus, autoimmune dysfunctions, and hypothyroidism. The effects of imbalanced chakras may also manifest in less physical ways. In the case of throat chakra, a probably closed or difficult area can initiate behaviors indicative of insecurity and lack of control, such as manipulativeness, lying, arrogance, anxiety, fear, diminished self-esteem, compulsive or excessive eating. Interesting. Okay, can't say that those are all true. I don't know, because that I don't have a personal experience with them, but I can honestly say that I personally had I would get choked up at certain emotional things. And still today, even depending on what I conversate about, because sometimes if I'm talking to someone, I really am not, because we don't all divulge every personal thing about our lives, but I'm here talking about certain things in my experience because this is just coming up. It's just so interesting. It's like, okay, speak your truth. And one of the things I've been practicing in the last 2.5, 3 years, and actually assisting other people, like the people that I have had as assistants and people who have been around me that are bookkeepers and all that kind of stuff. I've always been telling them, speak your truth, because there was a time where I just like, and I think, okay, so I'm going to give you an example too. I have someone that I just connected to, and she expressed that her mother has so-called dementia, and her mother is considered the mother of, a religious community, and now she's got, it's not Tourette's, but she's classified as having dementia, but now she says things that she wouldn't have never said in public. So it's kind of like, if you've closed yourself off, I think it's comical because, I don't know, I thought it was comical because when you close yourself off to expressing your truth and what your real thoughts and feelings are, you could possibly get to a place where maybe, oh, well, I have dementia. I'm not saying this is being done on purpose. I'm just saying that it's like everything has the ability to come out. It's like, there's no closed door. It's a healing process. It's like all the thoughts and all the things you could have possibly said, because how some people like, you're talking behind my back or whatever, instead of speaking to my face. And it's like, I usually like to tell people what I'm thinking and feeling to their faces, but it is not in a way that is hurtful, although sometimes I have been in the past. I have to be watchful, should I say, about how I communicate what I'm saying. But and I probably get that from my mother, which I appreciate about her because she says what's on her mind, and it's like so I can't be offended. It's like if you have something to express to me about something, then that's going to assist me. I thank you. I am so grateful because but it has, if it resonates, it resonates, and I take it for good and I move on my little merry way. Now, some people have the not the ability at certain junctures to be able to accept certain things that are said to them, but I don't know. We might get to a world where everybody is like speaking their truth, and wouldn't it be a wonderful world for people to be speaking to? And that gets me to the next little thing that I want to share. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's watched that movie, and I'm going to put all of these links up on the site, I promise. um that's one. The movie is called The Invention of Lying. And so there's a part, I just remember a little part of the clip where I think he goes on a date, and the lady, everybody has to speak the truth. Everybody says whatever is on what they're thinking and feeling. I mean, imagine whatever that person's thought process, you don't have to worry about what they're thinking. Okay. So I'm gonna do a side thing and talk about, you know how we all go and watch comedians? I think to myself, okay, comedians speak, they might have an expansive, or how can I say, um, it could be them portionally, a portion of it, portionally, I'm making up new words now. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So, a portion of it is like, they make it funnier, they make it more grandiose, let's just put it that way. Some of what they're saying, some of what they're sharing in stories, because and then we're like, but some of the stuff that they're saying, they really, really trust that, that's, they're speaking their expression of truth. That's why we laugh, because it's like, and some people can get offended about some things that people who are comedians, but I'm telling you, comedians have I would think comedians have like one of the best jobs, if it's not a job. It is a career, whatever you want to call it. It's their own personal inspiration. They have the best because they're literally up there having a conversation with how thousands of people, however many people are filling the room, hundreds of thousands of people filling a room, and listening to them talk about them speaking their truth. And some of it might be grandiose to make it even more comical because they're actually expressing what they feel and there's no filter. And it's just like, oh, this is what I think. Oh, this is what I feel. Oh, this is all. I'm just going to let it out. Imagine if everybody did that. Maybe we would all get over ourselves. Anyway, so there is one more thing that I want to share on that portion. Okay, so this is the song that came to me. So it's kind of like, knowing yourself, know thyself, connect to yourself, communicate with yourself. Oh, so one part of the practice, I think, and I think there's some information on that website about the throat chakra that they give you about how to help yourself go through the process of healing. This young lady, Lizzie, wrote the article. And like I said, I'll post the link and you can take a look at her website and, go through it or whatever. But one of the things that I noticed for myself is that I do. Okay. So I clicked something and I kind of got off. So if I'm like inconsistent to what I just got through saying, it's because I kind of tweaked it. So anyway, so one of the things that I learned for doing for myself was that I record myself on one of these, and it has a flash drive. It has a flash drive connection. This is an Olympus, and it has like a flash drive connection where you can connect it to your computer and you can load whatever your conversation is or whatever you're saying or whatever you're recording. Well, anyway, I use that to express myself. Not all the time. Sometimes I do self, and I call it self-talk. And the reason why I personally do self-talk is because maybe I don't want to talk to my sister-in-law or one of my closest friends to talk about what it is that I'm processing through, because I do my own personal processing. You know how some people need therapists and stuff. I'm my own therapist. Not to say that I have all the answers, because I don't. And of course, I utilize the wisdom, of course, within me, the knowledge and wisdom that is within me. And then I also will have a conversation with Prime Source Creator about, you know, like if I have a question about something, it shows up in my normal everyday experience to answer me. So say for instance, I have a question. Oh, you know, where should I go regarding this? Or can you give me some insight or something? I don't usually ask those questions. It's just, it might be a thought in my mind, you know, and inspirationally I'll maneuver into a certain direction in my life or decision that I'm making. And so, yeah, pretty much I do my own self-talk. And it's worked for me for years. I've been doing my self-talk for years. In the past, I have gone to a therapist, and what I noticed is I actually practice on myself. Like, I don't even want to call it practice. I process through my experience with myself. I've been like that for, oh gosh, for years. I've processed it. And what I've noticed, because I have an internal knowledge and wisdom within myself that I, one, intuitively tune into, and it is natural for me. I know that everybody else is, you know, everybody doesn't have that particular active gift, but me personally, I do, and I utilize it. And I've, like I said, I've utilized it for years. And because, you know, it's okay to go outside yourself if it is a processing thing that you can do, but eventually I trust, and I use that word trust, not believe. I trust that others will be able to do that same thing eventually, because it's you and your higher self having a conversation. And I've shared this on another video before. I was standing in line and I was actually having a conversation. I didn't have a big old long conversation with myself, but I was asking myself something. And the guy next to me, he was like, "Are you talking to yourself?" And he made a statement, and he thought, you know, he goes, he used to think that was crazy, but he started doing it himself. Not many people will admit that they talk to themselves. I completely admit that I talk to myself. I love talking to myself. I'm my own best friend. I love talking to myself because I'm the only one that gets me. Nobody else is going to get me like I get me. However, there are people who you definitely you need some assistance. And then when you get to a place where you have the trust, when you trust within yourself, because I have a personal trust with myself to know that I can process through my experience with my feelings and my own internal wisdom and knowledge to maneuver through my experience. And if I bounce something off someone or I just express myself to someone, it could be that whatever they respond back to me is I'm expressing my stuff out. And sometimes it's important for you to outwardly express it to someone. Oh, there's a oh my God, this is so funny. There's a Key and Peele clip that they're playing two women, and one of them is listening to the other one, and she's saying all that she's saying, and it's like two sisters, and they're saying all that they're saying, and on the one end, and the other one's going, okay, 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 oh, okay. So that's a perfect example. So if you have someone that just listens to you and while you process through your stuff and you just express yourself and get yourself out, that's an ability to do therapy on yourself, because once you've processed, because there's a part in there where where Key says, "Oh girl, you just had I haven't been listening to a word you said, and all Pill has been saying was okay, okay, okay." Now those are the best therapists. Now, if you need that process, I would say that's one of the best therapists. Now, you sometimes definitely need somebody else to say something else, to help you through the next phase of what your processing is. But it's so comical. It's hilarious. And I enjoyed watching it. But anyway, something to make you laugh, because it's like, okay, 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 okay. So all of those okays have an expression. Hilarious. Anyway, so moving on. So there's another thing here that I wanted to share. So it was about I just wanted to share these lyrics because this is the song that came up to me, is like getting to know you, know yourself, know thyself, getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to, I don't care for the word hope, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way. And then they say, but nicely. And then I'm reading the actual lyrics. But nicely, you are precisely my cup of tea. Oh, hint, hint. Ting, ting. My cup of tea. Are you my cup of tea? I'm my own cup of tea. So as I always say, look yourself in the mirror. The first person that you can have your inspiration, kindness, love, compassion, passion, and joy with is yourself. And that is what my show is about. So whether I have a guest on or I'm doing it my face to face, it's What's the Tea with Nikkolayla, and it's always about you. It's always about you. It's always about you getting to know you better, getting to look yourself in the mirror and love more about you, because you are one amazing expression of life. Didn't you know that? Oh my God. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell you, you're amazing. So anyway, just want to send out love and peace and prosperity and purpose and greatness and joy. And oh, can't miss this one. This is a very important expression. So there's a young lady, I just want to give her a plug because she put a YouTube video out and her song is called Self-Care. And what she did was she played so-called hooky from work and decided to go to the beach and do a song. And I am so grateful for her, and I'm sure there are other people who are grateful for her too. So I'm going to plug her song also. I'm going to put that link in there of her website, of her YouTube video. It's called Self-Care, and a portion of her chorus is self-care, self-love, selfish. That's what she's saying. And then she is just real. Like, she is speaking her truth. And I am so grateful for this beautiful sister. And I am so honored that she is sharing this song. And her name is Savannah Christina. So, love, Savannah Christina. I am so grateful that you came on the real, sister, to do and speak your truth, expressing yourself. So she had inspiration. She moved on her inspiration. She moved on what gives her joy, because it seems like it gives her joy because she has such a beautiful voice. And then the other thing is that she had love and compassion for herself to do these things. And seems like she's expressing her passion, and she was kind to herself to say, this is what I require. This is me expressing me for me and giving me what I desire. So she gave herself what she desired. And kudos to you. Kudos to you. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep making those songs. Being simplistic, the inspiration, there is a desire for more of what you have to offer, and I am so grateful for your life. So keep doing you, my sister Savannah Christina. and living your beautiful, best, and wonderful expression of life. And here is What's the Tea with Nikkolayla as we ting ting our way out with our inspiration, our kindness, our love, our goodness. That's not one of the virtues I use, but I'm going to fill it in there. So, inspiration. So, be inspired with yourself and others. Be loving to yourself and others. Be compassionate to yourself and others. Kind, passionate, and loving. And feel this joy to yourself and others. And I wish you the best and well on your day. And I catch you back on a flyby. Woo! As I take off in my saucer. I mean, my teacup. I need a saucer. Anyway, it's under there where it says, Woof, Nikkolayla. That's my saucer. Anyway, love, love. Be good to yourself, okay? And take care. Bye. Peace.